Good afternoon, my friends. This is Paul, and today I'm going to be reviewing to you Mario Tennis Ultra Smash for the Wii U. Some of you might be thinking that this seems like a pretty out of left field review, especially since I finally got my Mario Tennis Aces review working after about 2 years. The main reason I decided to do this is because I started my Smash Music Origins series, where I look at where the music from the Super Smash Bros. Series came from. And Super Smash Bros. Ultimate happened to include a music track from Ultra Smash, so I thought, well, I might as well review it if I'm going to be collecting the music anyway. So, this has to be one of the most bare-bones packages Nintendo has ever made. If you want to talk about minimal effort, this is the kind of game that I would have expected Nintendo to have released in 2020, had this been released nowadays. But this was a 2016 game, way before the pandemic started. So what was their excuse this time? Sheer laziness? Budget constraints? Time constraints? The only thing I can think of as to why the game released in such a shallow state is that the Switch was right around the corner, but Nintendo really needed a heavy-hitting Mario game to make them the money in 2016. So they told Camelot, okay, go ahead and make like part 1 of the game, and then after the Switch comes out, then you can make Mario Tennis Aces. Because Aces even reuses a lot of the assets and sound effects from this game. So I don't understand what could have possibly been so wrong. Unless if they got the same director behind Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. But let's start with the positives, because it can't be all that bad, can it? Am I just repeating what the critics said? Well, for starters, the game looks nice. It's the first Mario Tennis game in HD, but the character models don't look drastically revolutionary or anything. They're just much shinier, the lighting is better, and the animations are, well, they feel more fluid, but they're actually kind of lifeless if you compare them to the crazy power shots that were used in Mario Power Tennis, and even Mario Tennis Power Tour for the Game Boy Advance had better animations than this. Not to mention that all of the courts have the same layout besides the texture of the ground. You have the same amount of toads, you have the same amount of machinery that's in the background, and overall, it kind of just gets annoying. Not only that, but every time the character picks up a Mega Mushroom, they have the same old animation every single time they increase in size. Other than that, there's not really any personality to these characters whatsoever. They don't even have little touches, with the possible exception of Rosalina floating above the ground. It's also a perfectly functional tennis game. Like, it's not by any means a bad game, and there were times where I actually enjoyed myself more than Mario Tennis Aces. Without stuff like racket breaking and all of the crazy zone shot abilities, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash felt a little bit closer to the style of Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64, which primarily revolved around skill. There are chance shot panels that appear on the court, and if you press the corresponding button on the gamepad, then you'll do a more effective shot. Of course, these shots can be performed any time, so it kind of feels a bit redundant to use them, but I think that's the game's way of saying, hey, you, the best shot right now would be a lob. Now, to be fair, this was already in Mario Tennis Open for the 3DS, albeit without the touch support. So, in order for this game to say that it has a major new addition, they have a mechanic known as the Ultra Smash. If you see a purple circle appear on the court, then if you press the Y button twice, then you'll do a really powerful jump shot that's pretty much impossible to block. Of course, purple circles can appear and sometimes won't have Ultra Smashes, so why not color the circle differently as opposed to just putting 2 Y button icons? It's a bit baffling. Unfortunately, that's about the best praise I can give the game, is that it's a functional tennis game, but considering that this is the second worst Mario Tennis game ever made, besides the one on the Virtual Boy, but even that's debatable in some areas, as you'll soon see, it's kind of pointless for anyone to play this. First of all, the menu is so bare bones. All you can do is you can do a miniature tournament mode of sorts where you just fight against a bunch of opponents in increasingly harder difficulties. There's a Mega Ball Rally where the tennis ball is huge and you just have to keep it going as long as possible, and as soon as someone misses, then it's game over. And Mega Mushroom Battle, where I mean, you kind of guessed it. Mega mushrooms are spawned on the field, and it makes your characters bigger, which increases their range and also makes them more powerful. If it sounds like I'm really tired, it's because it is. When I was playing this, I kept trying to think of ways that maybe I could have played the game enough to be able to adequately review it. As it is, there's not really any credits, scenes, there's not really a true finale, unless if you could say beating all the opponents in the knockout challenge, which weirdly enough lets you train an amiibo? So, what, are they taking a page out of Smash Brothers' book because they couldn't think of any better uses for the amiibo? There's no story mode to think of, there's no power shots, the gimmicky courts are so boring and lifelike that they might as well not even exist. Even Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64 had character-specific courts, and it had remixes of popular themes. The character roster is abysmal, as yes, it has the Sprixie Princess, which is kind of cool, and it's the first Mario Tennis game to have Rosalina, surprisingly. But the characters are so bland and boring that they might as well have just, I don't know, like, it could have done for maybe a little bit of originality. Again, if you take Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64, they actually invented a new character of Waluigi, so that Wario would have a partner. And not only that, but the character roster in that game was huge. You could even play as Donkey Kong Jr. for crying out loud, and even 4 human characters if you connected it to Mario Tennis for the Game Boy Color. Wouldn't it have been cool if you could connect to Mario Tennis Open and have some of the mini games from that game? That's another thing. This game doesn't have any mini games, so you don't get the Super Mario Brothers Tennis that you did in Mario Tennis Open. You don't get the gimmick courses from Mario Power Tennis. You don't get the ring shot mode from Mario Tennis 64. You don't even get the opening cutscene from Mario Tennis on the Virtual Boy, which had the ball bouncing into the screen to give the illusion that it was going to break your eyes. Even that is better than what you have here, where the game just kind of starts up and the Wii U loading screen is just hearing generic tennis sounds. Overall, this is about as bare bones as you can get, and would get the record for one of the laziest COVID games ever released had this actually been released during COVID. I highly recommend that you stay far, far away from Ultra Smash, and if you really need a tennis game on the Wii U, just get Mario Tennis 64 or Mario Power Tennis or Mario Tennis Power Tour on the Game Boy Advance, or any tennis game besides this one. With that, thank you very much for watching, my friends. I really wish there was more to say that was positive, but Nintendo really flew off the dark end at this time, and I'd like to think that Scott the Woz did this a lot more justice than I did. So I hope I was able to convince you not to try Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, even if you get it for like $2, like it's going for nowadays at most modern gaming stores. And if I left anything out in a game that already has very little content, let me know in the comment section, and until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, God bless, and let's hope that the next Mario sports game has an abundance of content, because it seems like Nintendo is just wanting their games to be more and more bite-sized as the years go on. Bye!